In the next series, we're going to convert a 2002 Jeep Liberty to an Overlander with only $150. In this episode, we start the construction. Part one, we're gonna start the construction of a rooftop tent. Part two, we're gonna finish the rooftop tent. Part three, we build a gearbox for the back. And part four, we test it, and I sleep in that tent in 27-degree temperature. It is very cold.
I had a lot of help on this project, especially from this guy here, my brother-in-law Alec, and his house and garage and tools. And fortunately, I had a lot of help from my son Jason as well, helping build this project and making it all happen. I will leave a list of the supplies and materials I used to put this together down in the description, along with what I paid for them.
So the first thing we're gonna do is create the base. I've got this plywood that is about that thick right there. That's, I think 15-30 seconds is what I got. Some rail pieces on the side. The top piece is actually cut down. This is a little bit smaller than the top piece. 3 feet 11 inches by 5 feet 10 inches. Something like that. And I just put some caulking on here. Probably wood glue would be better, but I don't have any. I bought lots of caulk to seal it up. So I'll let that dry for a little bit. Go ahead and screw the other side, and then we'll keep going.
Now, I've seen YouTube videos of people building these tents. There's a few guys that have some products out there. However, their tents cost quite a bit more than mine. Actually, a little bit more than mine. I knew I could do something maybe just as good, kind of as good, but for a lot less. And I tried to use all new products, so this would be repeatable.
So there is the base. I just sat on it. It's pretty strong. I got a 2x4 in the front because this is where the hinges are going to go and where the air is going to hit it. These are, well, I don't know what these are. Some small wood. I tried screwing it in on the end, and it ended up splitting. Put some caulk on that, glue it together. So there is the base. I just used caulking on here, put some screws up from underneath. 1 5/8 inches is what I used. I think that'll be strong enough. All right, now on to making the top. We're gonna do the top in roughly the same way, except the top is gonna be a little bit bigger.
I really have no idea what to do when it comes to woodworking. I'm just kind of going along. I had a basic idea of a design that I thought maybe work, maybe not, maybe it'd be total garbage. But I had to try it. We spent an afternoon working on the rooftop tent. Honestly, the whole project took 2 afternoons. It was very cold in the morning, so we'd go out a little bit later on in the day, and it could have been done on maybe a Saturday if you started early and got done late. This whole thing could have been done in 1 day easily. Nothing was too complicated. All the parts were readily available, and it was a lot of fun. Now, it was very important that the base was very sturdy, as it was going to be bolted to the roof rack of an off-road vehicle that would be used off-road. And then there would be a very heavy person sleeping in the top of it. So we had to make sure that it was strong enough to withstand all the rigors it was put through.
All right, the top is done. I ran some caulk around the seam on the inside, as well as most of the outside, especially the front here. So hopefully that'll seal it up, more or less. So that is the top. Next step is we're going to put the bottom on the top, so it's upside down, and with any luck, this might kind of fit. It actually almost fits just as expected. There's a gap here, or a lip. There's a reason for that. Part of it was because I knew I couldn't measure and cut exactly correct, so I left a little bit of a margin of error. But there's going to be a reason for that being there, which you will see here shortly. So I'm going to put the hinges on next. All right, so you got the outer hinges on. Kind of eyeball the center here. 4 feet, 2 feet, that's about centered right there, close enough. Hard thing is we want to try to keep the pivot point in these all in line. That will help it pivot a bit better. The center one, I'm using screws that are a bit longer than the other ones. And I probably should have used the longer screws on the other ones too, but I didn't. The inner screws, I'm using these short ones. It's just going into the plywood. These are too long. They're going to stick up on the inside. Probably eventually need to replace these with nuts and bolts. At least grind the screws off on the inside. Actually ended up a little bit. It's not quite exactly where I would have liked it, but it'll work. Now, how heavy is this? Oh, it's not too bad.
In part 2, we add some struts to help with the top to lift up and help support it while it's open. We add a very heavy-duty and durable tarp to the outside with a Velcro enclosure, and we mount it on the roof of the Liberty.
If you enjoy content like this, on both sides of the screen are going to be some other videos, and I will see you in one of those videos.